All right, everybody. This is another episode of the First and Framerates podcast. I think we're on episode 27. First and foremost, I really appreciate all the feedback we got from the last episode, talking about the channel and talking about certain people in the community, how they need to get their act together. That's not going to change. We're going to continue to point them out. Like I said before, if you do something stupid, it's not our fault that we are able to talk about it. That's why you're here to listen, so you guys can get that information and you guys can learn on what not to be as far as being a gamer. But today we're going to talk about a lot of NBA stuff when it comes to free agency. We're going to talk about a little bit of NBA Live. We're going to talk about some 2K. I know DJ has a decision that he wants to address as well. And we're just going to go in head first. But first, we're going to go with our intros. Bills, what's going on, man?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Got my popcorn ready watching this NBA free agency. It's been crazy.
Yeah, man. It has been crazy. Real crazy. What about you, DJ? What's going on?
Just to make another correction, it's episode 26. Everything's fine over here. I'm liking a couple of the additions that the Wizards have made, and I do have a decision that I've already come to. And it's basically about Madden 19. So
wait, you're telling us you couldn't let us know that it was episode 26 before you said that?
Yeah, he just waited. You know, he just messed it.
He just waited.
I didn't want to interrupt the intro. Like, I just look. I'm proper. I wait till somebody finishes, and then.
But he asked before we started, though.
I just looked just now. Jeez. Well, maybe if y'all did some pre-planning, maybe y'all would know.
Man, we don't. And listen, we don't do pre-planning over here at First and Framerates. Everything y'all did, everything here. He's a brand new co-host, Bill, so he don't understand that we do everything off the cuff. He don't.
And there's another thing we don't do. We don't censor ourselves over here. Ain't that right, VF?
F *** U. Nah, man, we don't do no prep. We just say, hey, look, what we're gonna talk about, and then bam, we just start. We don't do no.
That includes counting, folks.
Yeah, that's right, counting too.
Counting.
We can actually count. We just can't count the episodes.
No such thing as math here.
No. That's not math. That's not math. We just keep going.
We ain't Floyd Mayweather now.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't read. That's different.
He can't read.
That's English. That he can't read English. He can speak it, but he can't read it.
He can't do either. But,
well, anyway, we're going to have some NBA talk. A lot of NBA talk. A lot of stuff has changed. A lot of players moved around. A lot of players are stacking together. And
some was spilled.
Yeah. Some stuff was spilled. Kind of better late than never, I guess. But for all intents and purposes, it could have stayed where it's at. But anyway, what was the biggest surprise to you guys as far as this free agency? What was the biggest thing that happened that really made you take a double take of what's going on? It doesn't matter who goes first, so just let me know.
I'll let DJ go first.
Well, I definitely was not surprised by LeBron going to LA. I was trying to tell a certain person, Christopher, that he was going to LA, but you know, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Who the hell is Christopher?
Spec Poo.
Oh,
yeah, I call him Christopher because I wanted to make a point.
Yeah, he want everybody to go to Philly, man. He's just Philly this, Philly that. You know, how it is.
I want Donald Trump to go to Philly. Anyway, I think the biggest shocker was Boogie going to Golden State after all that cryptic tweet that he put out, in which, you know, Wizards fans took it a certain way. Who else? Was it Lakers fans took it a certain way? Even Pelicans fans were thinking, oh, he's coming back. Nope. Going to the Warriors. I was just like, that ruined any bit of what LeBron could have been doing in the West. That threw some other people for a loop too. So that was my biggest shock.
What about you, Bills? What did it for you?
Man, I'll tell you what did it for me, and it was today too. You know, the Boogie signing wasn't as shocking after I found out why it happened, but Tony Parker.
Man, you read my mind, bro.
Tony Parker is signing with the Charlotte Hornets now. I don't know what this means for Kemba Walker. I don't think it means anything really because Tony Parker's washed. But the fact that the Spurs wouldn't let this man just finish his career in San Antonio,
that's actually shocking.
Like, I don't know what's going on in San Antonio right now.
It's like everybody's bailing. Everybody bailing
this
out.
Last year has not looked good on the San Antonio Spurs franchise. And then you got the fact that Michael Jordan is signing Tony Parker.
I don't
You're
get
talking
it.
about the same man that drafted Kwame Brown over Pau Gasol.
He keeps doing it over and over. It's like you know what the issue is? When you got a whole bunch of yes men around you who can't tell you that you're wrong. No, I'm gonna say this. When you have a bunch of yes men around you who are too scared to tell you that you're wrong, and Charles Barkley said this, and that's what ended their friendship. When you have that,
I thought no rings ended that friendship.
No. They were friends with rings or without.
No, not even without that. You know, Barkley and Jordan's been friends for a long time.
Yeah, so Barkley said that Michael Jordan don't talk to him anymore because he told him that he has too many yes men around him. He's not a good GM. He keeps drafting these bums and putting them in starting positions on that team. Well, he's not putting them in starting positions. He's putting the coach in a position where they have no choice but to start him because he's drafted him so high. Like, I don't get it. Tony Parker? It's a head scratcher. How old is he? 35?
Hey,
I think Tony
don't
Parker.
Knock any of these 30-year-olds, man.
I'm not gonna knock a productive 35-year-old. I am gonna knock a 35-year-old by the name of Tony Parker, though, who got sent down to the D League for a rehab assignment and came back up and still had his job taken by DeJounte Murray, and Patty Mills is playing more minutes than him.
To me, it just bothered me because of the fact I always see Tony Parker as a Spur, and for him to be in another uniform, that just looks
weird.
wrong. It looks wrong. It looks really bad, especially with the Spur organization where, for all intents and purposes, everybody who you seen come through there pretty much finished their career there.
He played 17 years with them, bro.
Yeah, it's like, yo, go home.
He's 36. Yeah, he's 36.
Yeah, it's like, yo, go home. You know, it's like, why would you even mess up your... why would he mess up your legacy by going to another team? I mean, me personally, a Spur is a Spur is a Spur. And that's where he should have stayed at. I mean, either stay there or retire. Tony Parker has nothing to prove. What, he has like 3-4 rings?
I think they got to the point where he probably wanted to play more than Pop planned on playing him. And that probably had a factor because, like I said, the league has passed him by.
I don't think the league necessarily passed him by because his skill set is still very valuable. It's just the fact that he's getting old.
Yeah, but he hasn't been able to check anybody in 5 years.
Because he's getting old.
That's my point. That's why the league is
his skill set is there. It's not like he's the old man trying to ball. Because his skill set is there. He's just too old to even just play with the young guys.
That's my point.
Wouldn't that be the old man trying to ball?
That's what I'm saying.
The way I look at it, the way I guess we're looking at it. When I say the league passed them by, when you say that, I think that the league is evolving to a different style of play.
Oh no,
that's what I take from
board.
Right,
has reached a point where he can't make an admirable effort on the court to where it's like you can look at him and not say. It's like when Patrick Ewing went to the Sonics.
Oh God, I was about to.
I know a lot of people hate to remember that. But
now I can really, I can relate to that. But like when you said the league passing by, I'm thinking like Mike Allstott trying to come back in NFL right now.
Oh no.
The league is evolved. There's no place for Mike Allstott right now. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, the game has it no longer slows down for players like him.
Right.
It's sped up to the point where he really just.
But I mean, but on the flip side of that, now what I was saying, like with Tony Parker, the type of way he plays basketball, he will still fit in if he was physically able. That's what I was saying.
If he had a post game he still be able to play. But that's the one thing he's never had and never really needed because he never posted up in Pop's offense. So I don't really see how he's going to be serviceable, man.
No,
he's not a good spot-up shooter. He's never been a good spot-up shooter. He's never been a good shooter, period. He's at a mid-range jump shot about 15 to 20 feet.
Yeah,
that's been serviceable for, a long time. But in this league, he's going to be a spot-up guy, and he can't do that very well.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So I don't see it.
But for me, obviously, like DJ said, the Boogie Cousins signing, I just think it's not fair. It's not fair. Even though they say he may not play until mid-season, it's just not. Mm-hmm. If this guy is ready for the postseason, it's not right. It's just not.
I'm glad you brought up not fair. Go ahead, DJ.
We may be thinking the same thing on this one. I know me and Bills were talking about this, and I think we both came to an agreement that even though that may not be fair, it's up to the rest of the league to get better.
No, I agree with y'all.
No, I'm not saying that you're saying it's not fair based on the fact that, the league was forced to have this happen. I'm like, free agents can go wherever they want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like, it's not fair that he's able to sign with them. I'm like, it's not fair on the competitive of like, these other teams.
That's what I'm addressing.
Yeah, it's like these teams are like
the rest of the league.
They're like helpless, yo.
Better, and it's like somebody even I forgot what tweet or what video this one guy he pointed out, it's like the way the Warriors have done it, they've done it the right way. They drafted good, they acquired some key acquisitions, and they just play ball, and they all have there's no egos. Nobody's being questioned who's the star, who's going to take the most shots. It's not like that at Golden State. Every place else, somebody has an ego, somebody wants to be a diva, somebody wants to kill a coach. Not literally, just.
No, I think the problem with the league in general, I think the NBA has driven this up to the point where players, or is not even implemented for teams to play basketball. They look for that superstar to carry them, and maybe one or two players to get them through every now and then.
You know what it starts with? It starts with the one and done.
Yeah, it can. It could be a part of that. But
think about
on top of that,
look at the only team who's built in the draft other than the Sixers who tanked. It's been the Golden State Warriors.
Well, you can look at that and also.
The Celtics,
you can look at that, and also you can look at like other teams who are actually successful at building a team and actually doing pretty good. Like you can look at like Toronto. Toronto drafted their superstars and they did pretty good. They're just scared of LeBron, but they did pretty good with drafting their players. You can look at the Milwaukee.
But they weren't one and dones though. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying the one and done.
It's nothing you're going to be able to do without. That's an NCAA problem. At the end of the day,
can. No, the NBA and the NCAA have an unspoken agreement that says, yes, you can rent out this player for 1 year. Yes, you can take this player from us after 1 year. No, they cannot come out of high school. But, Adam Silver said they're working on getting rid of it. And I think if you're not going to come out of high school, you should stay in school for 2 years.
I think you should do it I think you should do a 2 and none. Yeah. 2 or none. Do 2 years. Do at least 2 years or come straight out of high school. One of the two.
Ever since these one and done started, they've been pushing out these Kentucky bums that aren't about winning, aren't about basketball, have no basketball skills. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, absolute scrub. He got drafted really high in the draft. You got these one and done players who come out and they go to these teams who really actually need a player who can come in and play right away, and most of them don't pan out.
That's true.
So it's like when I look at a Boogie Cousins, for example, he's going to be the first player from that draft class that was drafted really high out of Kentucky that's going to win a ring. Look at where Eric Bledsoe's at in his career. Look at where John Wall is at in his career. There's no knock against John Wall, more so a knock against Eric Bledsoe. So,
you look at other ones that was one and done. You look at Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose.
You know what I'm saying?
And Derrick Rose had injuries because he really was about winning, and he was one of those kids who could have came out of high school and he would have been able to play at a pro level right away.
And the thing about Derrick, and I'm a Bulls fan. The thing about Derrick never had a second option to score with him. Yeah. By the time they got Rip Hamilton there, Rip Hamilton was like, "Yo, I'm just here."
He wasn't ready. Lou
No.
Deng couldn't bring it every night.
No, John Simons was not ready. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about Kirk Heinrich. They just never gave nobody around him. Like, just second option, basically, for the most time, was like Lou Deng or Taj Gibson.
I would have liked to see Derrick Rose without injuries and Jimmy Butler play together, even though I think Jimmy Butler's a fraud. And we also have to talk about
But even then, yeah, we could talk about that later, but even then with Jimmy Butler, when Jimmy Butler and Derrick Rose did play, Jimmy Butler was nowhere near the basketball player that he is now.
No.
You know.
So that's what I'm saying. I would have liked to see how that worked out with Derrick Rose healthy, and then you see Jimmy Butler as he's developed into the player he is. I would have liked to see how that would have worked out. But two things. The first thing is, I think we need to revisit the fact that I said that they needed to remove some teams. And
Wait a minute. We'll get to that. Let's talk about another one and done. Let's talk about Carmelo Anthony. They're talking about buying. Yeah, he was a one and done at Syracuse. Contracts. Yeah, he was a one and done at Syracuse. Phenomenal player at Syracuse. His NBA career has been up and down. I mean, in playoff terms, it's just been down. But his entire career has been up and down. But now they're talking about OKC's going to buy him out, and I don't know.
Make a comparison here.
I'll be honest. No matter where he goes, I'm not sure that he's going to be viable, man. I'm just be honest. He looks like he's washed.
I have a comparison.
Get ready to play from the bench.
I have a comparison to Carmelo Anthony as far as work ethic. I think Rudy Gay and Carmelo Anthony are the same player as far as work ethic. The difference was Carmelo was always better.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Rudy Gay.
They're both lazy.
No, man, Rudy.
They're both lazy.
I don't know, man. I don't know,
as
man.
Far as work
My
ethic,
name is DJ, and I do not condone those comments.
I mean,
you're telling me as far as work ethic that Carmelo Anthony and Rudy Gay are not the same player.
The thing about Rudy Gay talent-wise is just steps under Carmelo.
Talent-wise?
Yeah, Carmelo is better than him talent-wise.
Rudy Gay came out of college as the better defender. He came out of college as the better rebounder. He came out of college as not the better scorer or shooter, but that's on the offensive side of the ball. Rudy Gay had every chance to be one of the best players in the league, and he was lazy. Carmelo Anthony had every chance to make it far in the finals or to the finals or conference finals, and he was lazy.
I don't think.
Like I said, the difference was Carmelo was just a better version of Rudy Gay. They're both lazy and didn't live up to their potential.
I don't think Carmelo was necessarily lazy throughout his career. I think the last 2 years, maybe 3 years, you can make that case. But for the most part, I think that he pretty much gave it his all. I think Rudy Gay just is not as talented.
He gave up in Denver.
No, he gave up to get out of Denver. I agree.
He gave up his last couple years in New York, which I can't really blame him.
I agree.
He gave up last year, which I can't really blame him.
But I'm saying, like, overall, I think Carmelo wanted to bring it on the court. I don't think that him and Rudy Gay, maybe work ethic, I think you got it there. But as far as them being the same player overall,
no, I said as far as work ethic. Because when people were talking about Rudy Gay coming out of college being like the next big thing. I mean, he was another one and done guy, by the way. So, I mean, him, Marcus Williams, Josh Boone, remember all them dudes?
I remember.
One and dones. Came out of college, weren't ready. Rudy Gay came out of college, didn't have that work ethic. He had a couple years where it really looked like he was going to be a good player, and he stopped working on his game. He stopped playing defense. He took bad shots. He stopped the ball, and he dribbled the air out of the ball. Carmelo Anthony was always the better player naturally, but when you look at his work ethic, what has he done to evolve his game throughout his career?
Jesus Christ!
He's just always been the better player.
They said they're going if they waive him, they're going to save up $100 million by getting rid of Carmelo.
Bro, he needs to go somewhere where he can fade into just being a. But see, that's the thing. He doesn't want to accept a bench role, and wherever he goes at this point, he's going to have to.
He's not going to want to do that. This got disaster. Let me say, this got disaster written all over it. I don't think he's going to do it.
Him and Allen Iverson suffer from the same the same freaking virus, the same ego virus that won't get you a ring.
I agree. I'm just telling you, I don't think he's gonna go for it. I really don't think he's gonna go for it.
That's funny. That's why in the past they were actually good teammates.
I know, right? I know, right?
When Chauncey Billups came, he told Carmelo flat out, "Look, I want a ring. I don't fucking need you. I got traded here because they wanted Allen Iverson in Detroit, and Denver thought I could bring a winning culture here, and that was the furthest Carmelo went in the playoffs as the best player on the team."
Oh, wow.
So Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony, they both are going to end their careers without ring. Well, Allen Iverson's career already ended. Carmelo's going to end his career just like Allen Iverson. Ego-driven. I don't want to come off the bench. I don't want to take a secondary role. And that's how your career is going to end. You're going to be a talented player who didn't live up to your potential.
All right, what else y'all got with the free agency?
I want to talk about Jimmy Butler real quick.
Go ahead.
So,
yeah, you got that.
So Jimmy Butler has been throwing his teammates under the bus.
Again.
Yep, Karl Anthony Towns throwing them under the bus.
Yeah, I got the story right here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he said he doesn't like Karl Anthony Towns' work ethic, or I guess approach to the game of basketball, which is kind of ironic because Karl Anthony Towns was the one that was out there giving full effort on defense and only touching the ball 4 times per game. Yet he was playing about 40 minutes a game because how Thibodeau loves to kill his players. I didn't hear Jimmy Butler complaining about that.
Hold on, wait a minute. You got it the other way around. He didn't like Andrew Wiggins' lack of work ethic.
He said Karl Anthony Towns too.
No, I'm looking at the article right here.
Oh,
he doesn't. He said.
I do remember it saying. Remember also saying that he complained about Cat as well.
No, he did complain about Cat, but it wasn't about the work ethic. He's more worried about Karl Anthony Towns' ego and his brand, and he doesn't like Wiggins' lack of work ethic and lackadaisical approach to defense. I'm just reading it right here in the article. Now I don't know if there's anything different, but I mean you're not wrong either way. But I'm just saying.
If I was Karl Anthony Towns, I would say I don't like the fact that every time we need you in a big situation, you come up as a fraud.
I think it was just, personally, I think it was just a bad fit. They should have never traded him there. I think I think it was better. Together, it was just better for them to keep Zach LaVine because Zach LaVine and Wiggins got along very well.
They all liked playing together.
Yeah,
man.
They all liked playing together, and it worked very well with them. With Jimmy Butler,
throw Jimmy Butler in because you think he's gonna like playing there because of Thibodeau. Shit don't work like that.
Right.
You can't
that's why the Warriors continue to be successful. They don't have situations like this to pop up on their team. I'm like, even on the Wizards, there's speculation always about Wall and Beal always at odds. So, when teams, I'm not even going to say teams, when players finally understand that, hey, everybody needs to put their egos aside and learn to keep things in-house, maybe they'll win a championship.
Well, remember, you don't have players walking around every day whose fathers played in the league at a high level.
Oh, that is true. Dell Curry was very successful.
Michael Thompson, I think his name was, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Michael Thompson.
The Lakers.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they basically just struck gold with that team. I mean, they did very well with what they did, and for them to just add Kevin Durant, I mean, it's just nothing but a stroke of genius. I mean, I can't do nothing but tip my hat to them. And the thing about it is, the way they play basketball just makes you want to watch them play. Even if you don't like them, it's not like they're playing like with egos. Everybody wants to play together. Everybody pass the ball. They play that's just like I was saying earlier before we got into the one and done thing. If more teams would just try to find players who can gel together and play well together, you will have very good results. Look at what happened 3 years ago when the Hawks, they got 5 players that actually wanted to play. The Atlanta Hawks won 60 games. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
East.
That's what I'm saying. It's like those guys actually wanted to play together at that time. I didn't never thought that they was
Millsap, though.
No.
He loved the floor so much.
No. That particular
he loved to play on the floor.
Not that particular year. That Millsap wasn't there. That Millsap wasn't there that year. That year when they won 60 games, they played basketball very well. I mean, all 5 of them made it to the All-Star game. I mean, they played very well. It's just that you don't, like I said, you just don't find teams that they're looking for that. They're looking for like this one superstar or 2 superstars, and they just want somebody to bail them out every now and then when the superstar is down. The whole league is like that now. So
and one more thing with the Warriors, though, people stop bitching about them celebrating. If you want them to stop celebrating,
beat them.
Beat them. Period. Yeah, back in my day, nobody gives a fuck about back in your day. Okay,
shoot, and that's the funny part. Back in your day, that's what you had to do to beat a man. You got to beat the man,
right?
Yeah, right. So it's very funny for them to actually start saying stuff like that.
Back in my day, back in your day, Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin played football.
Yeah, and it's like, look,
next, like what are we talking about here? Like, so I've always hated that you give an athlete the stigma of, oh, he's selfish, oh, he's self-promoting because he's celebrating. Okay, well, if you don't like him celebrating, stop him from doing things on a football field that'll cause him to celebrate. Period. Because guess what? When Richard Sherman lost, he wasn't celebrating. He had nothing to celebrate. He wasn't talking trash in the media because he lost. That's how you beat a trash talker. You beat him. That's how you shut him up.
You shut him up by beating him, exactly. So, let's switch gears again in the NBA.
Wait, hold on. One more thing about the teams. The teams about getting rid of the teams.
Never could escape it.
No, we're still going to get to that. I was just going to keep talking about the free agency.
I know. Bill's got to get everything out. That's what it is.
I was still going on with the free agency because there's still a lot more to talk about. Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying. I wanted to jump in and talk about the Lakers a little bit with Rondo going to the Lakers and Lance Stevenson being there, and what does this mean for Lonzo Ball? Because
I look like he's about to get traded.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He's about to be booted up out of there.
Lonzo's camp leaked the information about his knee injury.
Yeah, that was a bitch move.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at this link right now, waiting for it to pop up.
You know, with our ball special.
Yeah, it says Lakers believe Lonzo camp leaked knee injury to prevent trade.
He's about to head to San Antonio. That's what it looked like it was going to happen.
You know what's going to happen? This damn kid's going to end up on the bench, yo. They're going to move on without him, one way or another. Mm-hmm. He can say he's injured, but they're like, okay, you're injured, you're not playing. So it's like,
exactly.
You can't play with a bum knee.
Let's check out that knee, son.
Yeah. I don't know, man. To me, the way it looks like Lonzo would have been a pretty good fit with LeBron, but it's his dad, man. His dad fucks everything up, man. I hate to say it. People could say what they want to, but people are tired of
other 2 sons.
Yeah, people are tired of
LeVar Ball is a buffoon.
Yeah, people are tired of that shit, man. Like, seriously. And I don't blame them. It's like you're pretty much ruining your kid's rep by continuously talking. I don't know.
I mean, I think Lonzo and LeBron will play well together. I don't think Lonzo's going to win the starting job at this point.
Not as soon as Rondo got there. That's a wrap.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. We know Rondo is inconsistent as a basketball player, more so in his psyche than his physical play. But even then, I think Rondo's probably had a bit of a resurgence knowing he's going to be playing with the best player in the world.
All Rondo needs is just some motivation. That's it.
Yeah, that's
every
it.
time when Rondo don't have motivation, then that's when bad Rondo shows up. If he's motivated, he's going to smoke Lonzo off the court.
So Lonzo needs to work on that jump shot and keep his mouth shut. Well, he doesn't really talk, but
that's what
continue to keep your mouth shut.
I mean, that's what makes it worse because it's not his fault.
It's not.
It's not his fault that he's in this bad situation where he basically can't do anything to help himself, because everything that happens, the media runs to his dad. Well, what you think about this? Or his dad just comes out and says something.
Have you heard what the Spurs want for Kawhi?
Everything.
Yeah, they want everything. I think they even want to get. They want.
They want Magic Johnson. And
they
want everything. It was like, give me Staples Center. Give me Hollywood. Give me Hollywood Hills. Give me.
They want the walk. They want
Nicholson with us?
The Walk of Fame.
Bro, like I'm like, damn, dude.
Good news. This is good news for you, Bills. The Bulls have already matched the offer given by Sacramento for Zach LaVine. So
there we go.
Yeah,
that was quick.
Yes.
That was reported by Brian Mazik.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I like that. I think.
Shout out to Brian Mazik, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Brian.
He does some good stuff.
He really does. I mean, my Bulls just need to be relevant again, man. This fucking sucks.
They will be, bro. Y'all got a good young core. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I like the guys who they drafted. Matter of fact, speaking of that, I need to download this NBA 2K14 mod so I can really see what they did with the Bulls. Because those guys do great work. But, I mean, that's for another video. And, like, 2K14 mod is, like, legendary. But he just started making the mods again, so I'm really going to get into that, make a video probably sometime this week. But I like the two big guys that they got because that's what they needed. I mean, they had no big men, really, especially after Meritic left. You know, after he left, they didn't have anybody really, so...
Is Denzel Valentine still there?
Man, fuck that dude. That dude sucks, man. That dude
Why
sucks.
do you not like Denzel Valentine?
It's not that I don't like him. He just don't produce. He sucks.
It was Valentine, son.
Bro, his minutes were inconsistent last year.
He was inconsistent last year.
Hey, man, he was a rookie. Damn it.
So was Lonzo. Hell, shit.
And he was inconsistent.
Oh, God. Yeah, Denzel's still there, though. I mean, maybe he'll show improve. Like, you're right. He is a rookie. But, I mean, Denzel's a small forward. So, no biggie. Because we drafted a center and a power forward. So, I really want to see what they do. The center is very athletic. And
hopefully y'all start both Vonleh and maybe put Markin in the center.
I forgot about marketing. Man, I forgot about him.
I think your best lineup: Chris Dunn, Zach LaVine, Justin Holiday, if y'all still have him, Noah Vonleh, and actually, do y'all still have Portis?
Nah, yeah, we still got Portis. We still got
still there.
Portis.
That's the reason why what's the name left was traded in.
Yeah, put Portis. Yeah, you can put Portis. You can put Portis and Markkanen in the back court. I mean, in the front court. Put them in the front court and have the rookies battle it out to see if they can get a starting job.
Yep,
they do have a Sheik there. He's there. Robin Lopez, apparently. So I'm looking at the roster now.
Yeah, Robin Lopez is still there, but
Robin Lopez, he got hurt last year.
Yeah, I mean the team. They got some pieces, but I don't see them like the way that this team is structured. It looks like they're trying to find a way to play team ball. They're trying to play team ball in the league where really team ball don't work anymore because of the teams that are out there now.
I found myself using the Bulls a lot last year. My issue was the freelance set that they run.
Yeah, I don't like their coach. I really don't.
Man.
I don't like the coach. I do not like the coach. They need if they get an offensive minded coach, they'll be fine because a lot of the guys are on the team now. They're already defensively gifted, so you don't need a defensively minded. You don't need a defensive minded coach.
Dude, Fred Hoiberg too worried about IT carrying. Meanwhile, he should have been worried about y'all squandering that 2-0 lead that year, but he's too busy bitching about IT carrying. I'm like, bro,
I agree.
Like, really?
Yeah, we'll see what happens with them. Let's talk about some rookies. Trae Young.
Bro, you know what?
Let's talk about Trae Young.
You know what? We can talk about that first half. But the second half...
Man, that dude sucks, bro. I don't care if nobody...
Damn.
Dude, no.
Yeah, man, that dude sucks Young, right now, man.
Trae Young played better in the second half, and in the next game he played well. He played the way I said he was going to play. He has good court vision. He can shoot, but he needs to stop taking stupid shots. And he looks more explosive than he was in college. His only issue is going to be his shot selection. He seriously needs to stop taking stupid shots.
This dude fucking sucks, man. I'm sorry, man.
Look, man, he's
Oh,
gonna
God.
average 20 on a bad team this year.
Oh God.
And of course, I have no comment because I don't care.
Oh God. This dude
Oh.
is terrible, man. I mean, look. I can't even talk about him. He sucks, man.
You brought him up.
I wanted to, man. I wanted to talk about him. I wanted to talk about him, but I can't, man.
No. You wanted to talk bad about him.
Yeah, it's so bad I can't say nothing.
Slander is
Right,
real.
you wanted to just slander him. Just let's talk about Trey Young.
He sucks. That's it. That's all you need to know. Dude fucking sucks, man. Grayson Allen out here trying to ball a little bit though.
Grayson Allen is wow. Adding him to Utah, that's gonna be big. Wow.
Yeah, he's trying to ball a little bit. He's trying to ball a little bit.
I haven't seen any of Devontae. What was his name? The fuck is his name? Ayton. I haven't seen any.
No, I haven't seen any much of him either. You're right.
Watch him. My boy Mo Wagner from Michigan out here balling. He's on the Lakers, so he should play a lot of minutes this year because he's like the best big on their team already. So such a lot of this sorry ass big men on the Lakers.
Yeah, they say old boy from Memphis, the guy that got drafted by Memphis, playing pretty good too.
Who? Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson. He said he's playing really good.
Oh, Junior. I remember Senior.
He got an ugly ass jump shot, but it goes in though.
Hey, that's all that matters, right?
He got it from his father.
Anything else about this free agency, man? I know Damian Lillard's trying to leave. He wants to go to the Knicks or LA.
That's another thing. The list of point guards that LA is reportedly targeting between Lillard, Wall, and Beal, and maybe another point. I'm just like,
I think honestly, personally, I think Lillard would be a great fit in New York. I think he'd be a great fit in New York. Yeah, I think he would.
In New York,
yeah. Not just
he'd be wasted. He'd be wasted this year though, because Kristaps looks like he gonna miss all year.
Yeah.
Damn.
But it just the way he plays and the type of player he is, it just screams Knicks.
I think the Lakers need to try to make a trade for DeMar DeRozan.
Oh God, no!
Like they said, they're gonna
why? So DeMar DeRozan started missing shots and not playing defense because he sees LeBron.
Oh. He'd probably be inspired because he's not playing against him.
He's scared of LeBron.
Wow.
He's that scared of him. Even though they'll be on the same team, he'll be bricking shots just because, man. He's just scared of him.
Leave my boy alone. We seen fucking Kyle Lowry's fraud ass.
That's another one. He's scared of LeBron. LeBron could just
got outplayed by Goran Dragic, you bum.
Damn. And that's your team. Jeez.
Well, I ain't a fan of Goran Dragic, so, this is what it is. But can we talk about removing these damn teams now?
Yeah, we can jump to that. Go ahead and kick it off. Kick it off, Bills. Kick it off.
Bruh, get rid of some of these fucking teams, man. I'm tired of this shit. How many teams in the league can we honestly say are going to make conference finals or finals in the next 10 years?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Back up. You're not predicating it off of that, right? Because, there's only like 4 teams going to make it every year.
No. But what I'm saying is, if you look at the teams in the league, how many teams per year even have a chance to win their division, let alone be top 5 in their conference? There's certain teams that are just always going to suck.
But do you think that goes back to what I was saying, that these teams aren't trying to build themselves to play basketball? They're just like trying to get they're trying to get 1 or 2 superstars at a time.
I think the league is oversaturated. I think there's too many teams in the league. And that's why everybody flocks to the 1 or 2 good teams per year. If you had less teams, every team would be good.
I think that if you want to cut down the teams, there's 30 teams. I would say 24 teams would be nice.
Hey, cut that shit in half, man.
I think getting rid of about 8 teams would be good.
Bruh, nah. Get rid
because,
of...
you can't have 15 teams. That's odd.
16 then.
Then you're looking like the WNBA.
You look like a good person in the WNBA.
No, I'm just saying, I mean in a league like that,
this is the reason I think that. If you think about it, people wouldn't pay attention to the number of teams. They would pay attention to the players on those teams.
They kind of do that now.
The quantity. Yeah, but they look at the quantity and they say, "Oh, how can the league suck? There's 30 teams in the league." Yeah, but 16 of them suck.
I think you can get rid of 8 legit.
Bruh, I think you.
I think 20. I think 24 teams. You get 24 teams, put 12 on each side, and call it a day. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, like cutting them down, but the extent, I think that's where we disagree. I don't think you should cut it in half because it's like
the players would still go to the same 2 teams if that was the case.
Really, but you got. I mean, you're cutting off 8 teams. I mean, let's just think about this. What 8 teams that'll probably be cut? I mean, you can look at pretty much
Orlando Magic.
Yeah, you can look at pretty much all the small market teams. You can look at Orlando. You can look at I'm not gonna say Portland because they already lost Seattle. I'm not gonna do that.
I would say get rid of Indiana, even though Indiana would be that one Midwest team. You got to pick one in the Midwest. It's either Milwaukee, Indiana.
Milwaukee could go. Milwaukee could go.
So then keep Indiana.
So you got Orlando. You got Milwaukee.
Then you got to pick one between Denver and Minnesota.
Minnesota could go. No, because they're already losing somebody up there. Because they're already losing Milwaukee. Don't want to lose another. So then, Denver. So you know what? I could go with Denver. Denver could go.
Are we keeping Portland?
I don't want to do that to them because they lost Seattle.
So get rid of Phoenix. Then you have 2 LA teams because you can have the Lakers, but keep Golden State.
Lose Sacramento.
Yep, lose Sacramento. Lose the Clippers. We cutting the Charlotte Hornets.
All right, then we got 5 so far, right?
We cutting the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, Brooklyn could go. They definitely could go.
We're keeping Washington, keeping Boston, keeping the Knicks, keeping Philly.
That's 6 teams right there.
So
I wouldn't be
there's a bunch of worthless ones.
I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis could go.
Memphis can get out of there too.
Yeah, Memphis could go. That's 7, and we need 1 more.
Probably.
Did y'all mention Brooklyn?
Yeah, we already said Brooklyn.
Yeah. Okay. The Hawks. There's no team in the South if you do that.
Yeah,
right?
because we already got rid of Memphis and we got rid of Orlando, so I'm not going to say the Hawks.
I'm about to say you would have got rid of the whole Southeast.
Yeah.
Except for and the Wizards be there by themselves with Miami.
Cavaliers.
Yeah.
No. Nah, but you know what? We gotta get rid of at least 1 team in Texas too.
There you go. There you go. Which one?
So are we keeping San Antonio? Are we keeping Houston? Or are we keeping Dallas? Or are we keeping 2 and getting rid of 1?
No, if we get rid of 1, that'll be 8. So the last team.
Get rid of Dallas? Nah. Get rid of San Antonio, honestly. Unless you want to keep him just because Pop's there.
I would, no, Pops could go somewhere else. I think San Antonio is they're a good basketball organization, but the market is just too small. So I can say that.
So you get rid of San Antonio. So then basically what's going to happen is you redraft the league.
Right.
And that would change the landscape of the league because there wouldn't be such a disparity in talent like Golden State has right now. You would have
more players, good players on different teams.
Exactly.
No.
Most of those teams that we named are big market teams. We pretty much got rid of the small market ones.
Yeah, I mean, all the small markets are pretty much gone because you still have the Atlantas, you have the Charlottes, you still have the DC, you have the New York, you have the LA.
And we got the small market with Portland, so we're covering the Midwest, or I should say the West.
You still have the Midwest, and you also have the Midwest with Minnesota and Detroit.
Still got Toronto. So we got the Canada. So yeah, if they did that, the quality of the league, I think, would improve.
I got a question, since I didn't really say much during that whole exchange, because I'm sitting here thinking how sad this whole conversation is about cutting down the league, like this fantasy of cutting down the league because of making it fair and spreading players out amongst the league. How about this? How about they just have a hard cap and stick to it. No luxury tax, no nothing, because it seems like with the luxury tax, of course, your big market teams are going to be able to pay that luxury tax versus the small market teams.
Because you look at OKC, they're a small market team. They got $300 million against the salary cap. I mean, not to have the luxury tax. The luxury tax.
If you do that, you're gonna see a lot of people be like Boogie, and they're gonna take pay cuts and still go to these good teams.
Not that no, there's a certain point they won't go below. If they can get pretty much what they want to make or a little bit higher someplace else, they're willing to go, even if it's just for 1 year. It will force teams to make real decisions instead of saying, "Oh, we got this much amount of money, we can afford to pay this luxury tax," versus, "Oh, we got this hard cap, we can't."
Yeah, but the thing is, though,
all of this is going to be reconfigured. The salary cap has going to be reconfigured if they do this. Yeah. So it's not going to be. You're not going to have your Boogie Cousins type deals. They're just.
And the D League is going to mean a lot more too, which is another reason why you cut it down.
Well, just think about it like this: the NBA probably would end up having like salaries kind of similar to the NFL structure.
Mm-hmm.
Because of their smaller teams and there's more money to go around, and plus you have a hard cap. You know, you'll probably have a situation like the NFL where some players just not going to be signed, and some of them just going to have to sit out and wait for a phone call. Some of them are just going to have to accept what's given. You know, because a lot of these NBA players now they're basically getting what they're actually worth, and teams are just giving it to them because of what they're worth. Sometimes, you know, these gyms just have to be more strategic and be like, look, we can't handle you under this cap, so we may have to get another player that may be less talented, but we have to pay them less. And if they want to get better,
that's what I'm saying.
And if they want to get better, they're gonna have to work their ass off to get that big contract. Most guys work their ass off to get a big contract because they know it's there, not necessarily because they're trying to earn it.
And while we're reconfiguring the league, you can get rid of that damn NBA draft lottery too while you're at it.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't even care if they reconfigure the league. They just need to be done with that in general.
No, get rid of
that. That has to go.
It's gone, bro.
I would stick with that hard cap. I would just have that hard cap. Maybe increase the cap a little bit, but other than that, I wouldn't, because I don't like the idea of constricting the league just because there's not enough good players to go around.
I just don't think that's going to be the
you know what? Solution. I'm going to be honest. I think there's plenty of good players to go around. Yeah. I just think that the way that the CBA or the way that the salary is constructed, players are just going there, and because, like you said, I think DJ got it. With the hard cap, it'll constrict them, even if there's still 30 teams. It's just that some teams are willing to pay it, some of them are not. Case in point, you look at what Miami did back then, when Miami had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. You look at, even with Cleveland, when LeBron went back, you see what Golden State has done. You can see what OKC has done this last year. But now, all of a sudden, the flip side of that, OKC don't want to do that no more. That's why they're trying to get rid of Carmelo.
I still think players will end up taking a pay cut.
If they take a pay cut, then that's more profit for the league.
I mean, that's fine, but it's not going to help the quality of the league. They're still going to go to good teams, and it's still going to be the same two teams in the finals every year. So that
I would disagree with that. I wouldn't say it would be still the same two teams. You know, when it's more of an even playing field versus, like, if you look at baseball now. It doesn't necessarily mean that the Yankees are always going to be in the World Series, but they're always in the hunt to sign good players because there's really no salary cap, which is basically whatever they earn is whatever they can spend.
I'm about to say, I don't follow the behind the scenes of baseball, but for some reason they're able to make it work without a salary cap.
In baseball, there's a lot more factors that factor into your team being good through the course of a season than there is in the NBA.
Well, that's obvious, but I'm only comparing salary distribution in the MLB versus like them having a hard cap. They don't have a hard cap, which is basically each team, big market, small market, their cap is pretty much what they make. Versus in the NBA, they can go over the hard cap. Oh, they can go over. It's actually a soft cap, and then the hard cap is pretty much your luxury tax area.
Okay.
Once again, remember that also in baseball they use their farm system a lot better than these NBA teams who use the
Man,
G League.
they use the farm system better than any other
That's what I'm saying. The development of these players in baseball, you can't compare it to any other sport.
I mean,
of course, the NBA is lagging behind.
Man, you look at that later.
The NHL,
look at the
NHL uses their farm system pretty well too.
But I'm saying,
I can agree.
NBA,
I can agree. I mean, you look at the MLB, man. You look at the Braves, man. They basically gutted that team and used everybody in the farm system. And look at them now.
You'll never see it in the NBA.
Yeah, you would never see. Hell, you won't even say that in the NFL. Even though they don't have a farm system, these guys don't let second and third string guys like grow. Because the practice squad, if a guy's doing good on the practice squad, another team can scoop him up.
And that's my point. How many times are we going to watch the first round and see all these Kentucky kids get drafted to these teams who actually need players who can make an impact right away? If you constrict the number of teams in the league, that means less spots on these teams for these unexperienced bums. That's why I want to get rid of some of these teams.
I like I said before, I'm a big proponent of 2 or none. 2 years or 2 or none. Or 2 or none. Go to college for 2 years or just go straight out of high school.
I say for college 3 years. I think 3 years is that magic number because then at the same time the quality of play in college basketball picks up and then they'll be more NBA ready. I
think 3 years is when you start getting into why am I still playing here when I could be in the NBA? I can get injured playing here for nothing.
That's a good point. But I think the more years in college the better. I do agree with that. That's why I said 2 or none because two is a compromise because it's 4 years in college, and if you do 2, and I think that's a compromise to the players because, like you said, Bills, they may feel like they're being there, they could get hurt, they could lose a bunch of money.
Look at Lattimore playing in a pointless game, gets hurt at South Carolina. Pointless game.
That's a risk.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Hold on. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Every game that South Carolina Gamecocks play is pointless. So
here we go.
So we don't even have to go there. Goddamn chickens! Every game they play is pointless.
God,
he called them chickens.
That's what they are.
That's what he calls them.
Goddamn chickens. Every game they play is pointless. Go look at their bowl shirt because every team get a bowl shirt when they win or when they go to a bowl.
Bowl of chicken?
Nope, they got a blank shirt because they ain't winning no goddamn bowl. That's what it is. Their bowl shirt is a white T-shirt, blank white T-shirt. That's their bowl shirt.
Eddie as hell.
Man, I can't, I would love for Georgia Southern to come here in Columbia and beat the hell out that team. Oh man, I would love it.
So people, let us know what y'all think about the reconfiguration of the league. It's an interesting topic that a lot of people aren't really thinking about. They're just happy that they get to see a bunch of pointless ass Tuesday night games so they can live out their fantasy on their league pass and think that they actually paid for something worthwhile. But in reality, the NBA is just milking you.
Yeah, let us know in the comment section if you want the chickens to lose too.
Goddamn chicken!
I hope a South Carolina fan comes and flames you one day.
Flame? The only thing I'm flaming is with the damn chicken breast. I'm eating my goddamn kitchen.
Rotisserie, son.
Rotisserie. That you right? Damn right. Put some damn crushed red peppers on it too.
Man, what we talk about next?
Jerk chicken. There we go.
Yeah, jerk chicken, but they some dirt chicken. That's what they are. Dirt chicken.
Oh my god.
Anyway, what's next? Let's talk about some video games. We talked about some real life stuff. I'm gonna kick this one off. I've been playing Live 10 lately. Yeah, I know. I play old games. Nothing new.
Yeah.
I've been playing Live 10, and one thing that I've noticed that NBA Live, I don't care about Live 19 because all this other stuff that they're talking about is fluff. And yes, I said it. Fluff. Because what they had in Live 10 was brilliant. Nobody talks about it. And I know you guys know about this. That DNA, that dynamic DNA in Live 10 is something that should continuously be built on. I don't know who did that mechanic, but it's beautiful. I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so I'm playing a Dynasty in Live 10 because I play NCAA Basketball 10. So I play Live 10 because the games are very similar. I'm playing with the Bulls. I have Derrick Rose. And one thing I noticed, Derrick Rose don't play like a point guard, even though he's a point guard. Now in these other games, even 2K, they just don't have this. And I've been a big advocate for not having contextual passes, contextual stuff. I feel like everything should be done by your control, but based on their ability, the type of outcome will change based on how well they do. Like if somebody could dunk really good, they should be able to have a better high dunk rating, better layup rating. But if they don't do so well, they just don't perform as well as far as layups or dunks. Well, Live 10 has this mechanic that's DNA, where literally like with Derrick Rose, he plays point guard, but he does not play as point guard very well. So therefore, if you do a pick and roll or whatever, or if you find somebody who's open, he will more than likely he'll do a chest pass, or he'll do like an overhead pass, or he'll just do a regular pass. Okay, when Derrick Rose is on the bench, Pargo, his name is Pargo, he's the backup point guard. When he comes in, now all of this stuff is contextual because you don't have like manual bounce passes in the game. But when Pargo's in the game, you pass the ball on those same type of scenarios, he does more of what a point guard does. Therefore, he'll throw a bounce pass, or he'll throw a different type of pass. He will throw a pass to get the player open for a jump shot compared to Derrick Rose, where he's just a athletic point guard that's playing the position. I find that very intriguing, and like I said earlier, I'm not a big proponent of contextual things in a sports title, but I think that's brilliant because of you actually get to see the player play based on their ability, or based on their DNA, based on the type of player they are. Joakim Noah is on the team. Joakim Noah is not very good at back to the basket, so therefore, when you try to lay the ball up with him when he's back to the basket, he'll do like some weird looking layup or whatever. But when I put his backup in like Tyrese Thomas, he's more of a back to the basket type player. He has more moves. Even though all this is contextual, these players seem like they have different abilities and minds of their own to do stuff within their ability. With that being said, why these other games don't do this? This goes for Madden too. Why don't, whatever mechanic they had, why don't they have that in other games? I'm totally 100% with contextual type things if these players play to their likeness and ability. What do you guys think of that? Have any of y'all ever noticed anything like that? Y'all probably haven't, because y'all probably haven't played Live 10 in so long. But I think that's a brilliant type of aspect that was in Live 10 that you don't see anymore. What do you guys think about that?
DJ?
I don't know. I really didn't play Live 10 enough to really catch any of that compared to the lives for today. That's pretty much my thought.
Like I said, I think it's brilliant, and I'm surprised nobody ever picked up on. I mean, I think the only person that would say something about it was Prime, but Prime 76 would talk about DNA based on like playing like the dynamic season that they had, where they will play different, like they'll play like their counterparts throughout the season if the online servers were still up. But I mean, they would do that, but. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't realize if you play a Dynasty mode in Live 10, these players basically play based on their ability. You're not going to see Derrick Rose do very well in the pick and roll situation. That's not his type. That's not his game. But if you have Steve Nash does all the things that a point guard is supposed to do. Chris Paul, he does what a point guard is supposed to do. Jeff Teague, he does what a point guard is supposed to do. But like I said, if you had a Russell Westbrook or a Derrick Rose, or like say for instance, if you have like LeBron James passed the ball very different from what was his counterpart that was in Live 10? He played for the Pacers. Goodness, was it Danny Granger? Danny Granger and LeBron James are totally different players, even though they played the same position. It's just it is. I don't know what Mike Wang and them did with Live 10, but they coded those players to play very differently based on who's on the court. I just think it was brilliant. Bills, what are your thoughts?
I think 2K has already harnessed that, but the issue is that whoever's doing the ratings for 2K clearly is not doing a very good job with the tendencies. They have all those tendencies in the game, that change dynamically throughout a season. The issue is that when you don't have a guy who's doing the ratings and tendencies that knows what he's doing, you have a situation where you don't see those things play out. Then you have to have somebody like me or another person in the community come and make a roster where you can actually see those things. Live had it out the box.
Yeah, I wasn't a big proponent of Live 10 back in the day. I mean, back then I really wasn't into basketball games from the PS3, Xbox 360 era. I just wasn't really into basketball. 2K11 was the game that brought me back. But at the same time, I did play College Hoops 2K8. I played very little of NCAA Basketball 10. So maybe like the last 2, maybe 3 years, I started playing Live 10 and I noticed this in the game. And I'm like, this DNA stuff is like, this is some next level stuff that I'm surprised nobody's using anymore. I think Madden would like really benefit from something like this.
Madden has needed full-fledged tendencies for players for years. These traits that they have are not enough. They're very vanilla.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
They've been vanilla since Madden 12. They tried to put it in Madden 12, and they've basically been kind of the same way ever since.
Yeah, as many tendencies as quarterbacks have in real life, they're very vanilla. They get the job done, but they're very vanilla, and you have to spend a lot of time editing those. Only thing that they have to it that's close to it that's stock out of the box is the throwing animations. Yeah, I mean, because I was telling DJ this. I might not be able to talk about this. You know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I was telling DJ this, and it was an issue with Madden last year. I'm not going to talk about this year's Madden because I had the beta. But basically, based on whoever was doing the rosters, the issue was that a lot of these quarterbacks had incorrect traits for throwing the ball away. I think
you told me about this as well.
Yeah, a lot of the players would have it turned to off. You're wondering why they're forcing throws into coverage just because they don't have the trait to throw the ball away, which is very incorrect because I haven't seen a quarterback in the league who absolutely refuses to throw the ball away every single time.
I got another question. Why in NCAA 14 they had that right and they just can't get it right in Madden?
I don't know. They can't even get scrambling right in Madden. They had it right.
They damn sure had it right in NCAA 14. And to an extent, Madden 25 did pretty good with it too. But like I said, I don't know. It's just I think that Live 10 has really given me another insight on contextual stuff. Because you know me, Live 14, I love the manual bounce pass. And I've been wanting it, and I don't mind it being in the game. But when you have players who play exactly like their counterparts, for the most part, you can't get more sim than that, in my opinion. Because you want the players to play like you see in real life. And it's like,
you don't have to go in and do it for them either.
Right.
The game comes out like that. With 2K, in order to bring those things out, you have to go to the tendencies, which they have a whole bunch of them, and you have to actually change those tendencies, and then you'll see the players play like that. And oh, by the way, it doesn't trigger on All-Star either. You have to go up to Superstar and Hall of Fame to fully see it. So there's a lot of issues with 2K as far as the tendencies are concerned.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like that whole DNA mechanism in Live 10, it's just embedded. Like that's not a tendency rating. It's just like that DNA thing. That's who they are.
Research that they did,
right?
That basically says this is who this player is as a player.
Yeah, and I think they tried to put it back in Live 14 or 15. What was it called? It was Dynamic something. It was called something different.
I think I remember what you're talking about.
It was called something different.
And they're bringing it back this year, too, to a certain extent.
If they bring it back, and if it's anywhere like Live 10, I can promise you, that will be my Dynasty mode game, unless, I take that back. Their Dynasty mode, their interface, and some of the stuff that's in the actual mode has to change. But as far as playing the game from a day-to-day basis, like with Live 10, the games are actually, they feel different from game to game. And it's like, it's different because the players play different. NBA 2K, their Dynasty mode is great because you have control of everything, and based on your mind, the user mind, the way they set up the games, it plays out a certain way to the way that you want that team to play. Now the AI on the back end, the AI changes as well, so that makes it great. But I think Live 10 has something similar to that in Live 10.
The one thing 2K still doesn't have on Live, unfortunately, is the pace of the game. The pacing of the game in Live is just better. You can feel when the pace is picking up and when it's a lull, in the middle of the second quarter. In 2K, every quarter seems to have its highs and lows, and you never really feel a change in momentum very often as far as the pacing. Like, for example, in Live, and DJ will tell you this because I've heard him play Live and I've heard how he reacts to it when he plays it. You can tell in Live when you're playing at a pace you shouldn't be playing with your team. Because you start to give in to the weaknesses that your team has, and the other team, for example, Golden State, will exploit that. In 2K,
not only that, your team just won't perform. Your team will miss shots. Your team would just be all out. They'll be all out of sync.
Yeah, but in 2K, it's like you don't get punished for playing a pace you're not supposed to be playing with a certain team.
And you know what? And I think that just goes back to what we're saying with the DNA thing. Definitely with Live, because Live, these guys play like their counterparts. So when you play out of their element, they're going to perform out of their element.
Exactly.
With 2K, I think 2K is a victim of, and I hate to say this, and I think they're a victim of too much realism. Not too much sim. Because 2K has the simulation now, and there's a difference between realism and sim. When I say realism, I'm saying realism based on what you make it. If you make it a certain way, it's going to come out as real as possible for you. Simulation is like, hey, I'm going to make Tracy McGrady shoot a bunch of jump shots, a bunch of threes, and I want him to make them. Based on the way he plays, he's not built like that. So that's sim to the point where he's going to play out of his element. You cannot try to make Steph Curry continuously try to dunk the ball every time. That's out of his element. But in 2K, you can do that if you just reconfigure the game, or if you just reconfigure your game plan around it. Because the 2K wants you to have that type of control. With Live, and I can't speak for the new Lives or whatever, but I know with Live 10, like, I was playing recently, and I just, like, in the third quarter, I just been force feeding the ball to Derrick Rose. And after a while, he missed like 4 or 5 in a row. And I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, like, yeah, he could drive the basket, but after a while, it's just not going to be in his DNA just to continuously go and go. He needs a breather. Somebody else needs to get involved. And then, that we look at it to this day. You see Derrick Rose not the same person because he burnt himself out. So it's just that the way these two games are pretty much ran mechanically, and it goes to show you, what they had in mind with these games back then. I just think that DNA thing needs to come back. They need to do something with it. I think it's brilliant. But speaking of Live in 2K, we're going to segue into what you were talking about, Bills, earlier about NBA 2K and NBA Live, and we're going to talk about a little bit of my player, and I want you to really expound upon what your thoughts about those two things.
So, I was playing my career a couple days ago, and it took me some time to get my guy up to the 84 that he's at right now.
You didn't pay?
Nah, I tried.
You put no money in it?
Nah.
I'm telling you, man. 2K19 come out, man. I got like $300 to the side. Yo, I'm getting like 2 million BC, man.
My God.
I'm gonna be at 99. 30 minutes after that game download. 30 minutes after that game download, I'm being 99. I'm not lying.
I will unsub from you on every possible. Oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, I'm at 84 now. Whatever. It's starting to get harder to up my guy's skills, but the issue is you don't really need to have a bunch of skills. Like, you don't have to have an 84 overall in 2K to drop 40 points a game. And the reason
that goes back to what I was saying of the realism versus simulation.
Yeah. So, my guy, he wasn't starting, but considering the amount of minutes that he played early on in his career, I shouldn't be averaging 20 points in like 12 minutes.
Well, I
You know what
mean,
I'm saying?
you know,
And that's without cheesing.
but
And
you
that's
know,
on All-Star.
but you know, after 2K11, they pretty much wanted your my player to be Superman. 2K11, you had to grind. After 2K11, they want everybody to be a superstar. So that nothing's changed there.
Yeah. So I threw in Live 18 yesterday. I'm like, I started this the Rise, that's what they called it. I started it on EA Access and I liked it, so I continued it and played the Rucker. My guy was slow, he was sluggish, he couldn't shoot threes. Every time I took a three, it would explain the fact that I missed by saying I have a low 3-point rating. I haven't made a three yet.
Sounds like 2K11 to me.
And yeah, you can't buy points. You get awarded points that you can use on one of your three skills that you pick based on your prototype. You can't pick and choose what you're gonna up
Based on your performance.
based on your performance. You have to unlock gear and things like that. You can't just go spending a whole bunch of VC or anything like that on gear. You unlock it dynamically, things like that. I was getting outplayed by players that I, on 2K wouldn't get outplayed by. So I demanded a trade after I got drafted by Philly because I really didn't want to play on Philly. I played the draft combine, which was basically just one game with most of the high-profile rookies, and it had my draft stock in the top left corner, and I saw my stock steadily going up until I got to the number one pick, which is cool. So I got drafted by Philly. I demanded a trade because your agent in the game, immediately sends you a text message saying, I heard you didn't want to play in such and such. Which team do you want to go to? And literally they have a trade set up for pretty much every team in the league. Bit unrealistic, but whatever.
This is 2K, right?
No, live.
Okay, go ahead.
So I chose the Celtics. I played my first game against the Cavaliers. LeBron torched me, bro.
Makes sense.
Now, if that was NBA 2K, I would have held my own. Mind you, I don't got no layup packages. I'm not supposed to be able to shoot. But in that game, you try to do a crossover and you try to throw a whole bunch of moves together, you'll lose the ball.
Like I said, I just think 2K has been a little, drunk with power when it comes to just trying to feed people with money. Or want to be fed with money.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Because, they just want your my player just become a superstar overnight, money or not. I think, because I tried to make a my player back in 2K14.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for the PC. And all I wanted to do, I wanted to be a legit point guard that could pass the ball. I didn't want to be a 30-point scorer. I just wanted to go on a good team that has some players that can ball. And I'll just facilitate to them. All of a sudden, those top players just started feeding me the ball back. They're wide open now. And they'll throw the ball right back to me, wanting me to score. And, I'm like, I got players on a fast break. And then once I pass it to them, they'll stop and wait for me to come down to pass it back to me. I'm like, I just want to be a guy on the team. I don't want to be the superstar.
So I'm glad you brought up 2K being money hungry and greedy, because that leads me to a video that I saw on YouTube with some info about some gems that a alleged ex-2K employee had some jewels that he dropped. So the first thing he said, he talked a lot about my career. And he talked a lot about the sneaky practices that 2K was using last year. The first thing he talked about was the fact that in the prelude, they made the game play a certain way and made people think that's how the game was going to play. And then when they got it, it played a different way. So in the prelude, he talked about how he was hitting all these crazy shots and he was balling out and blah, 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 blah. Then he got the game and everybody played below what they were supposed to be playing as a my player, which would cause people to buy VC because they felt like their player wasn't as good as the rating suggested. So, when you're tinkering with sliders and stuff like that behind closed doors, making people buy VC because they think they're supposed to be making shots that they're missing, that's horrible business practice. Then, the other thing he said he also talked about how 2K would they would make hairstyles so that when you picked a hairstyle, you couldn't preview it on your guide. It was intentional. So when you bought a hairstyle and at the beginning of the cycle, the hairstyles cost a lot. There was a reason
I heard about the hairstyles before.
Yeah.
I heard that before.
So the reason they didn't let you preview them, obviously, if you didn't like it, you go back in there and spend some more VC. After you run out of VC, then you go and buy VC. So all that stuff that 2K does that we've been talking about for the longest time, I won't say it was confirmed because we can't confirm whether this guy's a 2K employee or not, but it sounds familiar.
Man, listen, man, I just want a good sports title. I don't need all this extra craziness.
I don't either.
That's why
I want it to be how NBA Live is.
I mean, that's why I play like the older games, because back then that's all they had to offer. They had to give you a good franchise mode. They had to give you good gameplay because that's all they had. They didn't try to sell you on, hey man, your player looks cool. He has a gold chain on. Watch him dunk. And then all of a sudden, you're playing this game that's completely flawed because they focused on that stuff instead of the game that they're trying to sell. They're trying to sell a sport, not this other crazy stuff.
See, that's why I don't even play half of these career modes. So I just want a decent, not even decent anymore. I want a good, solid franchise mode.
You just want a functional franchise mode,
right? Because I want to play GM. I want to run a team. I want to make trades. I want to micromanage my roster. I want to play with injuries. I want all that to take place, and of course, I want gameplay to be the base of all that. But
it's a good segue into something that you said you were gonna reveal.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so just a little context. Earlier this year, I tweeted that my purchase decision of Madden 19 would be based on what they were doing with franchise mode, and that was it. With that being said, I am going to get Madden 19. Now, I'm going to tell you why. Well, first of all, I'm open-minded, so let's get that one out the way.
Wait. Back up. So you're telling me that it's okay in this community to be wrong about something, or not even to be wrong about something, but it's okay for you to have an opinion about something and then change your opinion after the fact?
Here we go.
See, here's the thing. I know you're being sarcastic there for a second.
Of course.
But with all seriousness, I did leave myself an opening when I made that opinion. It was because it was based on franchise. Now, obviously, I didn't get my hands on the beta. It's okay. I get left out of many things in this community sometimes. But hey, that's okay.
Except for the roast.
Oh yeah, it is roast. Yeah, rotisserie chicken.
So you mean you mean to tell me that it's okay for a grown man to make a decision to buy a game?
It's okay because I don't pocket watch around this community. So I the way I just look at it is like, look, they made some upgrades that I am seriously interested in. Now, I don't go out and make it known in the community that I do this because I feel like, my decision is my decision. My decision only is not influenced by anybody else in this community.
Hey man,
and for anybody to really go out here,
you can't play this game. You can't buy this game because it's flawed. You can't play it because there's no competition. You can't buy it. You can't purchase it because we need another next gen experience type football game.
And if you call yourself a simhead, then you're a liar.
But here's also what's going to happen. I'm also going to. Here's another decision. Surprise! I am going to also get this year's Access Football. Because not that I'm going to compare the two franchise modes, but I am interested in what Access is going to bring.
I'm not gonna lie. I looked at the beta 3.0. I actually like what I see in that.
Yeah, and
I gotta watch it.
Just to go on record, watch Dollar Jr.'s video, not Moody's. Just
Oh
putting
God,
that out there because I've seen
God.
something in the timeline.
I'm not even. I tried to avoid it.
I'm not going.
It's like I tried to avoid it because First and Frame Rates, we're the ones that cause the drama. So if we stick our nose in this, Moody's gonna find his way to say that First and Frame Rates gassed up Dollar Jr. to do this. So I'm not saying nothing.
I was watching that already, so
I'm looking at it too.
I had a bird's eye view of it. But anyway. But okay, back to the decision point 1.0. But yeah, I will be getting access, and I also will be getting Mad 19 because I want to try out the archetype system. I want to try out all these things. No, I don't have EA access. I am gonna attempt to get it the way I got Live 18 by any means necessary. But if all else fails, I probably will be.
AKA thugging Shopmaster.
Nobody
listen,
Shopmaster. I just have great timing. That's all.
Well, listen,
you have great thuggish. Never mind. Go ahead.
Well, listen, I just got a 4K monitor, and I'm buying Madden on PC. I'm going to have fun with it, and I'm buying Access. I don't know if I'll buy that on PC or PS4. I think it'd be nice to have a physical copy of Access Football, so I may get that on PS4. But yeah, I'm buying Madden. Anybody want to say something?
Access.
Well, that's mainly because of the gameplay, and I understand. Here's another shocker. I did buy Access 17. I bought it late in the cycle, but I got it nonetheless. And
Oh, go ahead.
I was okay with what they had and understanding where they came from. I just want them to continue to build and build and build.
That's what I want to see too.
Get to the point where they may get some backing from a big company, so that way, just like Undead Labs now has backing from Microsoft, being a Microsoft studio now. So maybe State of Decay 3 will be 3 times the game compared to what it is now. So
see, that's why I'm on the fence, because part of me wants to get that game just to give constructive criticism and be part of the change and improvement of that game.
They got target passing correct.
They really did. I looked at that video. It's really nice.
I just don't like the running.
No, I can agree. The gameplay, at this point, the gameplay is like a deal breaker to a lot of people. Because, see, I knew what 15, 16, and 17 was. And I bought all 3. Because I said from the beginning, even back on the old Virtual Footballer channel, I'm buying this game just so I can, so they can get to where they are today. Because without us purchasing this game and actually word of mouth and people actually trying it out, they may never would have got on PlayStation 4. You know what I'm saying? It's all a process. And I love the way with Danny and I think the other guy name is Joe. Well, anyway, I like what they're doing because they're trying to stay in their own lane. They're trying to make a game for for them to build on. Now, what all these other people are doing of giving this game unrealistic expectations, that's the quickest way for this game to end up being, a flop.
Joe Montana 16.
Well, no, that got other issues. I'm not even going there. But
looking like Tron after looking like.
But it's just, this is what I'm talking about. Now, I'll probably end up getting Access as well because I do like what I see, and I just want to see, like, once the game released, just to see what other patches they may put out and see what else they may do. I'm very interested in that game, but Madden I'm definitely getting solely because it's on PC. I want to see what these guys in the PC world could do. I also want to see just the improvements EA has done, and like once again, I don't care what another person thinks about what I purchase. I mean, you got people on Twitter nowadays that are just straight up going after people for buying a game that person wants to buy.
That's called harassment.
Yeah, nobody has never gave me an answer to why it is a problem for somebody to buy a game that person wants to buy. Why does it bother you? If Gamer A wants to buy a game that Gamer A likes, why does non-Gamer B complains about what gamer A does. Yes, I said non-gamer.
Non-gamer.
Because non-gamer B is a non-gamer bitch. That's what the B stands for.
He said non-gamer bitch.
Well, let's just call a spade, man.
But you know, at the end of the day, that same person says that we're jocking the style, we're on his mind. No, listen, like we said before, if you do dumb shit, we're going to talk about it. And the people who are listening to our podcast, don't be like that guy. We're here to talk about games and enjoy games, not harass other people who wants to play a game. That shit
all day long. You're supposed to have a job.
All week long. That shit's been going on for days. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. We're a gaming community. Let's talk about games. I don't care how bad the game is. If DJ likes a game that's bad and he wants to come on this podcast to talk about it, I may disagree with the game, but I'm going to let him speak on it, and I'm going to let him have his fun. I'm not about to go on Twitter and bother him about playing that game. I'm not going to bother.
He's still going to roast me on the side, so it's
but when we roast, like when we roast anybody, it's basically all in fun. Even though it may hurt them because it may be true. But when we roast people, it's all in fun. I mean, Smitty, if you're out there, please understand we roast you. It's all in fun, man. Don't take it so serious. Man. You know, I still got that mound of salt back here if you need it, but still, it's all in fun. Oh, shout out to Smitty, man. Appreciate him coming on the podcast a couple weeks ago.
Salt Lake City.
Man,
but I mean, like I said, I don't get it, man. I'm nobody has ever come up with a legit and damn legit. No one has come up with the answer to why is it a problem for somebody to play a game that they like. Why is it your problem? I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know.
This is what the sim community has come to, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's really what it's come to. It's you know, it's either you hate Madden and you talk about it all day, or you like Madden and you barely talk about it. There's no in between on my timeline. Either somebody hates it and talks about it all day, or likes it and barely talks about it.
That's funny, right?
Why do people talk? Right, it should be the opposite. Why do people talk about the shit they hate so much? It's like me coming on the line all day. I can't stand Karl Malone all day.
You don't hear me talking about the chickens all day.
Well, you talk about it all video, but
man, fuck them chickens. Anyway, we ain't talk about them, man. Told you we don't talk about them, but I don't know, man. It's just
I can name somebody that probably played for them damn chickens.
Who what?
I could probably name somebody in this community that played for them damn chickens.
Who's that?
That's Gedden.
Gedden ain't played no sports, man. As far as I know. Maybe he has, but as far as I know, he ain't played
kickball.
Oh my god.
It's a kickball.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
I heard you sucked at that too.
Wow.
It's a kickball.
Serve him the bouncy one. Oh shit. Oh my god. Alright, seriously, we gotta stop before people actually say we are.
Yeah, they're gonna say we gassing people up again. Yeah. Like if you haven't been on you see on at the time of this podcast right now, we have an issue on Twitter, and we're not going to talk about it. But once again,
it already indirectly did. But
yeah, anyway. But it involves the same person who always in the middle of this stuff. Like I said on Twitter, it always one denominator, one person always in the middle of some BS in the community.
Yeah, it's the people who flip flop. Oops, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it's the people who flip flop. It's not the actual person who's in the middle of controversy again within the community, going at it with somebody else over some damn video.
Footage.
Yeah. People quote unquote stealing footage now. Listen, man. We just want good games, man. Some people are in it to get views. Some people
you know what? Forget having good games. Let's just start with the community. Let's just get good community membership going. You know, let's get people that know how to talk to each other like adults, know how to be courteous towards one another instead of always stealing from one another, harassing other people.
Shout
But
out
you
to
know what though?
Charter.
But you know what though? But you know what though? It's funny because first and frame rates, you know, we all just members of the NWO from back in Madden 15. Even though people say we start stuff, it's like we're the only ones that actually have that kind of camaraderie where we can talk to each other like we're
And we
simple
have
people.
healthy conversation with people outside of our group too.
And the main reason why NWO started because somebody said we were walking around with no nuts. So I'm just saying, it's one of those
and
things
somebody
where
else did call us a posse too.
yeah. So
Anyway, Charter, he
Shout out to Charter, man.
yeah, he pretty much participated in a great roasting the other day, and
It was
that
of Geddon.
nice.
It was of Geddon, by the way. Since we already brought
Yeah,
it up,
it was nice. It was real nice.
then somebody tried to tag him before, and he didn't want that smoke, so he went and avoided it. But it's fine.
Yeah, but you know how it is. But
Yeah.
we really appreciate Charter 04. If y'all don't know who he is, he's the one who behind the great sliders from the old Maddens up until
Beast
now.
Glider, so.
Great
Yep.
job that he's been doing ever since the old days of Operation Sports. We had J Miles. He showed up and tried to put me on blast, but I'm not going to talk about that.
Damn, with those copies of Joe Montana you've been holding out
Yeah.
on.
Well, you know.
you sure you didn't pull those copies from the car rack?
Oh, shit. Nah, you sure those copies aren't already compromised getting alcohol spilled on them by Damon Grove?
Using them as coasters.
Right.
Yo. Hey, man.
Instead of pouring one for his dead homies, he poured one for his dead game. But, is what it is.
Man, that was a scam, wasn't it? I mean, that was just fucking ridiculous.
That show will live in infamy in this community.
No, I'm just looking at some of these comments that Gadden put out back then. Oh, my God.
Shit, man.
Yes, we're talking about you. Anybody who's listening to this, they can go tell them. Yeah, we're talking. Like I said, if you don't do stupid shit,
We
you
won't
get
talk
talked
about you, bruh.
Much.
I mean, and you can take it as personal as it is, but hey, once you make it public, it's fair game. So it's not personally, it's not personal. It's not necessarily say we dislike you. We just don't like the shit you
was
do.
on Twitter in public bothering NY Kia for no reason. NY Kia came out and made a legitimate point about the ratings with Baker Mayfield, and your dumbass comes, he's still gonna buy the game. Yeah, so are you.
Who cares if you buy the game? Once again, I'm gonna go back. Why is it a problem that a grown man buys a game that he likes? Why is that your problem?
Don't nobody come at you for having Madden in your fucking screen name every day.
Nobody gives a damn about you playing Mario Nintendo games either.
Right.
And nobody cares that I took an unknown player in All-Pro Football 2K8 and rushed all over your ass for 146 yards and won the game by 2 touchdowns.
Man, nothing matters because in his comment section, he said that Joe Montana was going to be 2K-esque with backbreaker-like physics.
Man, he ridiculed people for saying otherwise.
Yeah, he did. He told them.
He had the nerve to talk about us ridiculing devs that we don't know. But he ridicules devs he don't know.
Yeah, he said you shouldn't ridicule and bother people that you don't know in real life about the things that they like. That is literally what he's doing right now.
Isn't that ironic?
Oh man!
Just like Alanis Morissette says, isn't it ironic? Yeah, isn't it?
Like, listen, NY Kid don't bother nobody. Hollywood sports bother nobody. Why do they have to be victims of these people who bother them for liking a game? Why?
It's called harassment.
God,
it's illegal.
Bruh,
you could be prosecuted for that shit
all day, my dude.
I don't know,
Thank God for the mute button.
Hey man, listen.
Amen.
But at the end of the day,
I shouldn't have to mute somebody I don't even follow.
Exactly.
About it. Like why? Like I shouldn't have to mute you. I don't even follow you.
And this
but
dude
you
has
keep
me, and
popping up in my.
And this dude has me blocked for no reason.
Shit, man, it's whatever, man.
I'm not blocked, but we'll probably be blocked afterwards. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, we don't care.
Yeah, of course.
At this point, it won't even matter. He's not even worth anything in the community.
He'll type a paragraph and then block us so we can't respond.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, we just want people
better community members.
Yeah, we just want people to discuss the game.
Be better.
discuss the games, have fun talking about these games, and if you don't like the game, just say your piece and keep it moving. Don't harass somebody else who may like the game.
Like, believe it or not, in this community, for the people who have come to the community in the past 2 years, believe it or not, there was one point in this community where you could talk to a complete stranger, have, varying opinions, and you could end without calling them a bitch and stupid and idiot and retard and all that stuff. There was a time when that was possible.
You would think nowadays we'd have got past that, but like soon as this Madden 19 came up, it's like it all started all over.
It's Madden season, bruh.
It's the
You know, it's Madden
But
season.
you know what though? To be honest with you though, Madden 17 and Madden 18, it wasn't this bad. It really wasn't. For some reason, 19 just triggered people all over again.
I think people sense that this is the one game that they're not going to be able to have any legitimate, breakdown videos about, where they can just continue to bitch and say this is egregious and this is something that needs to be fixed and this is the one thing that needs to be fixed before this game gets to this point. They can't do that anymore. Well, even Apex admitted it.
I told you the one thing you do is that when you take away the very thing they complain about, all they are left with is the pain they have to deal with.
Yeah.
Just, all that time they spent being negative, and you take that part away from them, they gotta deal with themselves.
Man,
why don't they just play? Yeah, why don't they just play like Bill's just said? Why don't they just enjoy these games and keep it moving?
Play games that you like, man,
and leave the people alone who like the games that they like.
Delete your account.
Shit.
Obviously, you don't know how to use it right. Delete it, or someone will delete it for you.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else y'all want to add, man? I don't have any other topics, man. I mean,
we were gonna talk about the World Cup.
Y'all could turn into Kratos in this bitch.
Yeah,
I don't know too much about the World Cup. I just know people play soccer. So
down goes Brazil.
Yeah, so y'all can jump back and forth to that. Over here, while y'all talk about that, I'll be over here looking at my NES Nintendo World Cup, so I make it seem like I'm in the conversation.
No, you're not. You gotta look at the timeline and see what's going on. That's what you gotta do.
Hey man, I'm tired. We need to live react to.
Hey, I'm over here, man. I'm over here. Y'all go ahead and talk, man. I'm just yeah.
Well, I'll let DJ go first. As far as if he saw the highlights or anything like that, and then I'll pretty much just fill in the blanks.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was shocked. I didn't think Brazil would lose, and they did. And they are losing to a team. They lost to a team that has been hot. Belgium seems like they're that team that could do some big things. Now, obviously, I don't know everything about soccer, so
right.
I have watched the World Cup every time it's come on. It's exciting matches that take place. So I feel sorry for people that don't watch it, like BF, and
that's the thing. And that's the thing for everybody listening. If you really give soccer a chance and hockey and some of these other sports that you may not like, try to gain a better understanding for the sport before you completely shun it. Only because, for example, me, I didn't understand hockey when I was younger. I didn't understand soccer when I was younger, and I didn't give it a chance. And because I didn't understand it, I automatically called it stupid and boring and things like that. Once I actually learned about the sport and I learned why they were doing certain things that I was seeing, that's when I really became interested, because it's one of the few sports where scoring's at a premium.
Yeah,
it's a nice little reverse. Right. It's a nice little reverse to football games and basketball games that are high scoring. It's an alternative to that. But continue. My fault for cutting you off.
Oh no, that's okay. Well, just to piggyback on what Bills was saying, when I grew up, when I was growing up, I was exposed to a lot of sports: lacrosse, soccer, kickball, tetherball, floor hockey, which later became an obsession with ice hockey, of course, football, basketball, baseball, softball, team handball, fencing. I can name a whole bunch of sports that I've been exposed to. So coming into a community that just focused on one sport, I always wanted to come in and say, hey, look at this sport and see how we can compare it and expand from there. You know, and you want to get a community, and I always wanted the community to be bigger and better than what it really was. So it's just like, you look at the World Cup, a lot of good matches are going on, a lot of players that are well known amongst the world, but because we're over here in the United States, we tend to ignore these players. Let's see. You know, you look at other sports like ice hockey, just had probably the most exciting finals in quite some time, but you know, everybody was stuck on the basketballs, and you know, we were still talking about football even though it ended back in February.
And that's the thing, if you aren't watching hockey and soccer, you're missing some of the most skilled athletes in the world. Just, I mean, some of the most coordinated, skilled athletes that there are. I mean, people say baseball is boring, and hell, it might be, but you can't underestimate the skill that it takes to play that sport at a high level.
Yeah, especially coming from me, I've played the sport, baseball.
Yep, same here.
And obviously, it's one thing to play it and another thing to watch it. Yes, it is boring to watch. I don't even watch until like it gets around the All-Star game, and then maybe like the season opener around the All-Star game, and then when the playoff races begin. But when you actually play it, it's so much that you have to, so many details you have to pay attention to in order to be successful at that sport. I'm like, I can remember in a bat where I had to pay attention to where the foot placement of where the pitcher, when the pitcher pitches the ball, where they place their foot would definitely let me know, their front foot would let me know if it was a fastball, where that pitch was going. Because more than likely, if somebody pitches where their foot crosses that plane, that center plane, and it kind of lands to their right, and I'm a right-handed batter, it's coming. The fastball is coming straight for me, so I better be prepared to duck out the way. But they could be throwing a curveball. That's where I gotta pay attention to the spin of the ball.
And that's the thing, man. I boxed when I was younger, and I played baseball, and I find a lot of similarities in swinging a bat to throwing a punch. Because
Jesus, like, you all right, bro?
I'm good. I'm just getting over it.
He was dying for a second, but yeah, he's good.
But I mean, when you look at how you throw a hook and how you swing a bat, a lot of it is in your hips and transferring power from your back foot to your front foot. And you know, if you've never played baseball before or learned how to properly swing a bat, I mean, the little nuances you can change in your swing to make your swing improve and to get yourself out of a slump is just amazing. The simple things like keeping your elbow in, your wrist action. Maybe lessening your stride a little bit. Keeping your head on the center of the line. There's a lot of things that you just miss out on when you don't watch these sports like baseball and soccer. I mean, the first touch is one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see. Yeah. Depending on which situation you see a player get the ball, and that really. It's one of the most beautiful sports you can watch, and I wish a lot of people, I should say a lot more people gave it, a chance. But as far as the Brazil game, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna sit there and mention the two games that are gonna be on tomorrow. If folks wake up at 10 a.m. on a Saturday, you're gonna catch Sweden and England, and then at 2 p.m. you're gonna catch Russia and Croatia. And that's deciding.
Croatia's another team that's been hot.
I'm
But
definitely going for England. I'm going with my ancestral. Yes, I'm black, and I'm talking about England. It was in my ancestral traits. England. We know why.
I just sent something to y'all. So whenever y'all get a chance, y'all go look at that.
Oh boy, here we go.
But
keep talking.
As far as the Brazil game, what I found early on was one of the reasons why they gave up that first early goal was because they were pushing their backs up a little bit too far. And Belgium is probably the most dangerous team that's left in this tournament in the counterattack. I think previously it was Mexico, but now it's definitely Belgium. They're well organized on the break. They make great passes and they spread out. They really spread, the defense out to the point where, if they lay one pass off and they have snipers spread out with the center fielders and their wingers, it's just kind of crazy. So, Brazil couldn't really. It seemed like Brazil was always playing from behind, even when they weren't down. It just seemed like they were playing from behind, and they always had to account for how good Belgium was in the counterattack because they never rushed. It would be one or two passes, and they'd get upfield, and Brazil would be scrambling to get back because they were pushing their backs up a bit too far. The other goal they gave up was an own goal, but that's just Belgium was too good today. Brazil ended up having a really good pass from Coutinho that went into the box, and it was headed by I think Augusto. But I mean, it wasn't Brazil's day. It really wasn't. So now we're looking at Belgium as maybe one of the front runners for this whole tournament. But I still think that France is a team to beat.
Yeah, France is on the other side. I think France is going to take that next match when they head up against Belgium. So
yeah, I think France is definitely the team to beat right now.
But the key thing here also is that there are no teams in South America. It's all Europe teams now.
Yep.
All European teams. That's the first I've seen in quite some time. I'm sure some hardcore soccer guy is going to be like, nope, that's happened before. I'm sure it has. But this hasn't happened in quite some time. They said also a semifinal about Germany, which got knocked out in the group stage. That was a lot of upsets that took place. So.
To not see Neymar, Ronaldo, or Messi at this point makes it pretty interesting, honestly. It may turn some people away. For me, it makes it pretty interesting.
Go England.
England's my dark horse. Can't count them out.
Yeah, because before I was rooting for Nigeria, and they got knocked out in the group stage. Obviously, my main ancestral team is Nigeria. So.
Right. So yeah, gonna be interesting. But VF can come back now from his little sabbatical.
Nah, so how many
trouble over there?
I ain't do nothing. Anyway, how many teams left in the World Cup?
2 just got eliminated today.
4?
Well, not yet.
Well, not yet. Not yet. 6.
Right now, it's 6, but you got 2 more that are going to be decided tomorrow morning.
All right, gotcha. No, I was just curious. I didn't know because I knew about that, but I just didn't know how many was left. But I mean, it's pretty cool. I know y'all were talking about people who need to look into the sport more. Maybe y'all were talking about me. Maybe I do need to look into it more. Maybe I need to look into it. But
I just look at it like this: you're playing NHL because of me. You might as well play soccer because of me. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure if I'll ever get into soccer, man. I don't know.
It's a war of attrition, just like NHL.
Maybe I may do it, but as of right now, I just have no interest. It's not a bad sport. I mean, I can watch it on TV from time to time, but to play it is just, to me, it just feels like a different thing for me.
Okay.
To do. I don't know.
Oh my god. Man.
Now what? Oh, now what you see?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about it on here.
Yeah, but you saw it though, right?
I'm reading some of it now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the sad part was I was watching that earlier, so I know exactly what's been going on. But continue.
All I'm gonna say is, if one person is always the center of drama in a community, it's safe to say that person is the problem. Right or wrong?
You are correct.
Well, anyway, I don't have anything else to add to the podcast, man. I think we ran out of topics for the most part. I think this has been another good episode. Anybody else?
We are soldiering through the driest month in sports.
Yeah, you guys could probably already tell because it seems like we're rambling on and then we go into these diatribes, but it is what it is.
Yeah, y'all just gonna
It's very dry out here.
Right, y'all just gonna have to bear with us through this month.
Mhm.
NFL preseason is coming soon enough. All right,
Training
so
camp at the end of the 1 or 2 weeks training camp.
Hopefully, we get some news on some of these holdouts, and we can maybe talk about that. But it's just July is just not a very good sports month. We're trying, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we're trying to tough it through, man. But for the most part, I think we're doing a good job because I personally believe that this is the best sports gaming podcast on YouTube. No matter how small we are.
Check.
No matter how small we are, I think you're gonna get the most honest, the realest talk anywhere. We're not held by any company. We're not held down by any NDA. We're not trying to make anybody happy because y'all give us money.
And we ain't scared of y'all, motherfucker.
No, we ain't scared either. We ain't scared. All we do is ask for y'all to listen. Everything else is gonna come through on the back end. Y'all just come through. Share the podcast, let everybody know what we're doing.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate all that.
Definitely appreciate it. And like I said, everything else is going to take care of itself on the back end. I promise you. You don't have to kick no super chat, no Patreon, no PayPals. I'm not in it to get paid, and I'm pretty sure my guys on their end, they're not in it to get paid either.
Mm-mm.
But we're just out here just trying to give out good commentary.
Nah, y'all need to pay me. Y'all need to. Nah, I'm just kidding. I have fun doing. I've actually been glad to join on and do this because I'm like,
it's only right.
It's one of those things where, like, consistency wise, I have not been doing with my own channel. So to be a part of a good thing here is probably the best thing going. It is the best thing going, and I like it. I like the atmosphere, the free atmosphere here.
And if y'all got a problem with anything we're doing on this podcast, y'all can meet us at Kansas City Speedway.
Yeah,
I'm not even commenting on that.
Joe Montana 16 record.
Oh man, yeah. So been another episode of First and Framerates, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And I don't got nothing else.
No, I'm good. I was just sitting here looking at a comment that somebody put.
Oh boy.
Twitter's a mess, man. What? Why?
Just like Kanye said, keep your eyes on up and down your timeline. Fake news dudes are online, so make sure y'all keep your eyes on your timeline. Got some really funny shit going on.
Man,
I got one thing I will say just to finish my part about it.
What's up?
Just have your own mind. Follow your own voices. Don't sit there and always depend on somebody else to drive your thought process in whether you want to get a game or whether you want to have a favorable or non-favorable opinion of something. Do your due diligence, research, and come up with your own thing. That's all I gotta say.
And take it from dudes who had to motivate themselves to turn on the camera every time before they made a video, because nobody else can make you do that except you. Unless you're never mind. Well, out of this group, nobody else can do that besides us. Motivate ourselves to put the camera on and make a video. I mean, that's literally comes down to your own motivation and your own wants and your own needs.
Man, at the end of the day, man, if you like a game, fuck what everybody else say. Play the games that you like. If somebody got a problem with it, that's what it is. It's their problem.
Yeah.
Point blank.
We play video games to enjoy the time that we're having with them. We don't play them to hate them.
No, I mean, who does that?
Well,
my question is, what were you guys doing before there was social media? You were hating games in your own corner?
Probably getting their ass whooped for trying to do this type of shit. See, now they're safe because it's social media. They can do it and hide behind their phone or their keyboard. But when they have to do that shit face to face, their ass probably getting their asses whooped.
How can you swipe while being angry on a phone?
Well,
I can imagine somebody swiping the keyboard as they're angrily messaging somebody. That's
I know somebody who angrily turns their camera on and makes a video every time they see something wrong with the game, but that's a different story.
Anyway, if you like if you like the podcast, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down. If you think we talk too much, put it in the comment section.
You probably do.
Yeah. Put it in the comment section, like, dislike, like I said, subscribe, man, because we're out here just trying to make some moves so you guys can become better gamers, be informed, knowing what's the do's and don'ts when you do come across people in the community, or if you're thinking about being that guy in the community, don't be that guy.
Yeah,
don't
do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Come through, have fellowship, talk about things, and actually have a good conversation, man. That's all I got to say. And,
no tiki torches.
And we'll be back in the week with more commentary.
And no hoodies. I mean, no hoods.
Nah,
we're out.
Especially with the holes in it.
Peace. We out, man.
Damn chickens.